Hey, what's up, guys? Tyler here with Secure Team. So, if you remember the other day, I posted a video about how artificial intelligence, well, in my opinion, is kind of getting out of hand to the point where the cons really outweigh the pros, in that not only do we have our computers, our phones, our televisions listening to what we say in our homes in what we thought was privacy, but we also have robots out there. If you've been following DARPA and Boston Dynamics, they are really creating some crazy things, robots that can not only walk, run, jump over things, and stand upright like a human, but also these robots that look like cheetahs. You know, they can walk and open doors and run in packs with one another. Some really crazy stuff. And in our recent video, we were talking about now Google, as well as other companies, have created this technology that can not only copy your voice within 60 seconds, but now these artificial intelligence systems can now make phone calls on your behalf to restaurants, hair salons, virtually anywhere you would want to call and make an appointment or order something, or just call one of your family members and have a casual conversation. And so after that video, I was reminded today of a story that came out way back in 2008, 2009 is when the story broke. But I'm willing to bet that a lot of you had never heard of it, and even if you had, you probably forgot after all these years. But I kind of just, again, wanted to bring it to your guys' attention just to show you some of just the crazy stuff that the government and the military are working on as far as AI and robotics. And so back in 2009, the Huffington Post, Wired.com, and a number of other media outlets put out an article pretty much on the similar lines of, quote, military robot being developed to eat humans. And it all started when an alternative energy company began working under contract with DARPA, which, if you don't know, it's a government agency, and it stands for the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, and is a part of the Department of Defense responsible for the development of emerging technologies, basically for use by the military. So, in a nutshell, they create some pretty crazy stuff, usually used to mess people up. And so back in 2009, this company under contract with DARPA got into the development stages of a robot that didn't need a battery or a fuel tank of any kind. And they had this goal to build said military robot, which could go on endurance missions, very long missions, and feed on, quote, organic material. This organic material, which was later clarified by the company to be small wood chips, twigs, bushes, tree leaves, and other vegetation. What was even more kind of funny was the name of the robot, which was, well, EATR, or EATR, which stood for Energetically Autonomous Tactical Robot. And so the stories went on that all EATR would need for power was the biomass that it could find, like dead trees. And did I forget to mention that it also was equipped with a chainsaw for, chopping up vegetation, of course. And so when people heard about this thing, and even a lot of these mainstream news outlets, it didn't take them long to say, okay, this robot is being developed by DARPA. It's going to be used by the military on the battlefield. And so naturally, when you have a battlefield, you have bodies. And in today's post-9/11 world, most of the battlefields that we have been on are in the desert. Not much vegetation or trees or wood chips. And so, without the company even saying it, people pretty much put two and two together and said, well, what's more organic than a human body? And so there was a big uproar. Reporters began asking questions, blog posts were written, and EATR, as it was called, became, in the eyes of the public, the robot that was going to eat humans up. And of course, DARPA quickly went into damage control mode, saying, quote, we are focused on demonstrating that our engines can create usable green power from plentiful renewable plant matter. The commercial applications alone for this Earth-friendly energy solution are enormous. But again, it comes back to, we have a robot here designed to collect organic matter. That could very well include human bodies. Obviously, DARPA is not going to come out and simply admit this, but it didn't take long for the reporters to put two and two together. And then to make matters worse, the robots would likely have been designed to be fully autonomous, giving them the ability to think and act on their own. And even as one Huffington Post reporter stated, even if it had nothing to do with humans, at some point, don't all robots eventually turn on their masters and start devouring us? And well, I guess we'll just have to find out. And so, yeah, since that happened, pretty much everything went quiet about the development of this chainsaw-carrying, quote-unquote, organic matter-devouring robot. And we really don't know anything about it in all these past years, other than some brief whispers that the project was soon after shut down, which I highly doubt. And again, although this is an old story, I think that with all of the other recent revelations and the advancement of both robotic technology and artificial intelligence, stuff like this is again what scares me. It creeps me out because it shows, even all the way back then, years ago, some of the stuff that they were testing, that they were developing, and where that technology could be today, being secretly used in places around the world. Again, obviously they're not going to reveal that to the public. And so yeah, what do you guys think? Having seen my past video about Google's new AI making phone calls for you, do you still believe that the cons outweigh the pros or vice versa? Tell me down below. But in my view, I think if things continue going the way they're going, it won't be long before we see Terminators walking down the street, or at least, AI computer systems just having taken total control over our lives, so we never actually get up out of our chairs again. Everything is handled for us. Our food is ordered for us. Our phone calls are handled for us. We won't actually have to do anything ourselves anymore. And that is what's actually scary. And it's not so much the AI or the tech that's scary, it's what humans can do with it. So, lastly today, real quick before we go, we have some new anomalous photos and video of some of the strange weather happening around the world. Here we have a video that was taken from Northern Ireland of what appeared to the viewer as just this massive wall of clouds slowly moving across the countryside. I mean, truly breathtaking. And although it's clouds, it really does look like a solid structure with extremely even walls, as he pans across from one end of the sky to the other. So amazing footage. I'll put the link to this down below. Now, also speaking of strange clouds, we also have some more photographs in, this time from my home state of Ohio, of this really eerie sight of, they could be your just typical roll clouds. A lot of people have said that's what they are. It also goes by another name, is what they call a squall gate. And what it is, basically, it's this very rare and unnatural looking roll cloud that occurs when passing the mesoscale convection system in Ohio. Now, the mesoscale convection system, or MCS, is a complex of thunderstorms that become organized on a larger scale than the individual thunderstorms, but is smaller than extratropical cyclones, and normally persists for around several hours. But to just a regular Joe on the street, it looks unnatural. Some would say creepy, definitely anomalous, but again, breathtaking, I think. So, really, really interesting stuff. Now, lastly today, and certainly not least, we have a new, very quick video coming out of Italy of what some have said is yet another bolt of lightning coming out during the beginning of a storm, or a storm in the distance, reaching down and striking something, some sort of unknown object that would be much similar to another video we just posted about, well, all of the strange objects seen in lightning and seen being struck by lightning, or dare I say, that are utilizing and harnessing this lightning to power these vehicles. And so you've been seeing it looping over. I'll zoom in here, slow it down a little bit, and there it is. Let's go ahead and pause the frame. And we can see as we zoom in here what appears to be very similar to what was captured over the Czech Republic in our recent video. I guess you could say a triangular shaped object that, I guess you could say catches or interferes with this lightning bolt before it could actually, touch down and hit one of the trees or something on the ground. Now here is the very next frame as the lightning is beginning to dissipate, and it kind of gives us a better view of this possible object, which almost, it looks very triangular in nature, almost V-shaped. But, again, at the zoom level, we just don't have a more high-resolution version. But, I think you can still tell it does take on this sort of artificial looking shape. I will leave it up to you guys. What do you think? Does it look similar to what was captured in the Czech Republic, as well as all of these other clips that we featured in that video about the lightning? Tell me down below and give me your thoughts on everything else we spoke about today. So thank you all again for stopping by. I am Tyler with Secure Team. Be sure to subscribe, share, follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and I will see you all back in just a bit.